Didn't see you there. I was just doing a little light reading. Why don't you come on over by the fireplace? I want to talk to you a little bit about Cupid's Charity. It's a wonderful group of people that helps raise money to fund research for neurofibromatosis, a genetic disorder that affects 1 in 3,000 people. There's no cure yet, but that doesn't mean there's nothing we can do. This year, for Valentine's Day, I'll be doing my part by participating in Cupid's Run. That's right, I'll be running down the cold streets of Philadelphia with nothing but my underwear and a huge heart-on. Yes, that's right, in my underwear with a giant heart-on. Well, what do you look so worried about? Here, I'll show you. Now that's not so bad, right? Hope I didn't confuse you. Now, it sure would mean a lot to me if you could help out as well. So what I want you to do is go online to my.cupids.org/getahardon and make a donation. All money goes directly to the Children's Tumor Foundation, and every little bit helps. Would you like to get a hard-on for yourself? Join my team, Cupid's Hard On, and do the run with us. I've even got a special discount code just for you. It's all for a great cause, so please support any way you can. Well, I really should get back to my reading, but come on out and see me February 9th in Philadelphia for Cupid's Run. I'll be the one with the heart on. Bye-bye now.
The lights flickered on and off. In a dim, abandoned parking garage, a young man stood alone, looking towards the upward incline, his back facing a broken-down car. Inches away from the wall, he pulled out his phone, full bars, reading 1 a.m. He groaned and sat on the trunk of his car.
And I bet you're wondering how I got here. Funny story, really. You see, I did something really stupid. I went on a blind date. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why, Jeremy, you're handsome and charming. Why would you ever do something so random? And you're probably wondering even more, what does a blind date have to do with me hanging out in a parking garage at 1 a.m. with a broken down car? Completely unrelated. But I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the blind date. Maybe it's coincidence, or the famous old when bad things happen, they happen in threes rule. Let's back things up.
Jeremy sat on the side of a street, looking out at an arena, blazing with lights. People piling in from all sides while he glances at his phone and laughs.
If she didn't pick up, she probably won't respond to a text.
His phone buzzed. Jeremy jumped back and saw Brian's name flash up on the screen.
Did I catch you at a bad time?
Actually, I could use someone to talk to.
No show.
This was pretty stupid.
Stop feeling bad for yourself. Just go see the show.
I never even heard of this guy.
You drove an hour and a half, and you bought a ticket. Who knows? Maybe you'll have a good time and meet someone there.
Yeah, I know. You're right. I'll catch up with you later.
He hung up while walking towards the concert. A man starts walking alongside him, trying to catch Jeremy's eye.
Man, look at those girls.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Yeah, if I knew any of them, I'd tell you.
Jeremy found himself drifting while walking to the concert. While walking a little too closely, the man went on a tangent about drug use, his time behind bars, and how much he loved. Well, that portion isn't important to the story, but it was an interesting addition to the night. Jeremy kept thinking, you never know who you'll meet or what they'll say. The concert, incidentally, was amazing. Alive in all the best ways, Jeremy felt himself carried away by the melody. The sting of being stood up was washed away by the feeling of euphoria, the cheers, and the excitement. That was until Jeremy noticed he couldn't start his car.
As the static fades and the voices fill the speakers, the road you're traveling, the room you're sitting in, it'll start to twist and turn, becoming something beyond ordinary, something beyond this world. Join us as we travel beyond the stars, deep underground, or in the innermost depths of the human mind. You just tuned into the Radioverse.
"45 minutes later."
What do you mean it's not the battery?
Yeah, look, see that? Your gas leaked out, man. We'll need a tow. It'll be hard in a parking garage. Is there any way you can push it out in neutral and maybe steer it out of the parking garage?
Sure, I can manage that.
Jeremy watched the AAA truck drive off, his phone reading 12:06, and he was currently on the 4th floor.
Guess I got nothing better to do. Come on, you big lug.
Jeremy slowly pushed his car backwards. It took most of his strength between stopping the car from crashing into a wall. But he managed to aim the car down and started to steer the car, even if the wheel barely worked, and brakes fought him tooth and nail.
Woohoo! All right, baby, take it easy.
Jeremy led the car down 3 flights, turning tight spaces, feeling a little pride and excitement, until he reached the bottom.
You gotta be kidding me.
Jeremy stood in front of an exit, blocked by a power washer. He looked up and saw the gate.
Oh, come on! Who puts a gate at the top of the hill? Oh, I better call my tow truck.
Sorry, we'll need to.
I need you to patch me through. It's been 15 minutes, and I'm tempted to see if I can push this car uphill myself or end up a stain on the wall!
Yeah, it's gonna be another hour, man.
Jeremy didn't even notice he changed numbers. He watched the phone call end, completely lost for what to do.
Guess this counts as number 2. 1 more to go. Now you're all caught up. And
The flickering lights flashed on and off.
that's happening. I can't sit still. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm walking around. At least I can calm my nerves or pass some time.
The uneventful walk up to the rooftop seemed to only last a few minutes. The music blaring in Jeremy's earbuds, blocking out the silence of the parking garage, interrupted by another call.
Man, are you still there?
Yep, still waiting for a tow.
Any luck from the girl that stood you up?
None whatsoever. That's just how it goes sometimes.
Better not answer. Play it cool.
Don't worry. I don't think I'll hear anything from her.
Are you okay? Be honest with me.
I don't know, man. Days like this just make me wonder.
Screw her. It's her loss. You'll find someone.
Either way, this will make for an interesting story.
Call me if something happens.
I got it, man. Get some sleep. It'll be a long night.
Jeremy watched the city, slowly still bustling with life and lights. He couldn't shake how strange they were. How beautiful. Like a world we're not meant to be in. Private scenery, just for him.
I better head back.
The staircase was pitch black. The elevators were turned on. Jeremy shook his head.
Oh, there's no way in hell I'm taking an elevator right now.
Jeremy walked down the empty ramp. He jumped as he heard a car alarm behind him ringing. He looked around, walking up to the car, wondering if someone else was around.
Is anybody here?
The flashing lights were a stark contrast to flickering lights, the sound penetrating the silence, slowly drawing Jeremy in, closer and closer. He looked down at his reflection on the hood. A horribly disfigured form was reaching for him, behind him. When Jeremy turned around, he saw nothing, just the flickering lights.
Hey! Don't just hide, come out!
The car alarm stopped. Nothing responded to his shouts as he raised his fists up. After a moment of realizing how futile it was, he lowered them, feeling stupid.
Oh, man. I need sleep.
After doing a double take, Jeremy started to walk back down the incline. Jeremy took a few steps and the lights turned off. He was trapped in complete darkness.
This is real funny, guys. Knock it off. I've had a long enough night as it is.
Jeremy took his phone out and turned on the flashlight. It gave the parking garage a new look. Every shadow stretched. The corner of his vision was engulfed by darkness. Jeremy stopped walking as he heard the rhythmic sound of footsteps behind him.
I'm really not kidding. Knock it off, or else.
No response. The silence sent chills up his spine. He began to walk, a second footfall echoing behind him. Jeremy started muttering to himself.
I'm losing my mind.
He picked up the pace. The footsteps matched his, only seconds behind.
I swear to God, if you don't stop it, why the hell are the lights off?
Jeremy ran, lost in the moment, his phone shaking up and down, his only light moving as he ran, barely illuminating the darkness. He tripped. He heard laughter from behind him. When Jeremy turned over and held up the light, he saw something standing at the end of the slope. He saw his blind date.
You've been waiting for me?
That voice, Jeremy thought. It was the same as the woman on the phone.
Who are you? What do you want with me?
I've been waiting for you.
The lights went off. Jeremy heard laughing and footsteps getting closer and closer. He scrambled backwards, trying to get up, his heart racing.
Whatever this is, I don't want any part of it! Do you hear me?
Jeremy flicked the light upwards and saw the hideous, disfigured face leaning in. Jeremy let out a scream and ran up towards the slope, away from the creature.
This can't be real! This can't be real! I'm dreaming! That's right, it's just a bad dream!
The creature let out a howl that seemed to shake the entire foundation of the parking garage. Jeremy turned into the stairway. No stairs. Nothing. Not even a wall. Just the night sky. Turning around, he saw something impossible. The cars were on the ceiling, parked. Everything was upside down. The creature on top of the ceiling, slowly walking over, taking its time.
Where do you think you're going?
Is this how you treat all your dates?
The phone rang again. Jeremy looked down. It was Brian.
Oh, thank God, man. You won't believe this. I'm in trouble.
Yeah, you are. You have no business being there.
Brian?
Listen to me. There are empty spaces for a reason. Places we don't belong.
Who is this?
Places you'll never escape.
Jesus!
Jeremy hung up. Looking around, he decided he had to escape. Below him was the disfigured creature.
Oh God, oh no! I won't give you the satisfaction!
Jeremy ran, feeling the ceiling grow closer and closer until he reached the rooftop. He collided with the railing and screamed. Above him was the city, the light, the traffic, sitting in the sky above.
We belong here now. You belong to us.
From beyond the darkness of All Incline, Jeremy could see all manners of shapes, eyes staring back at him. His horror gripped in his chest as he watched the figure walking closer and closer to him.
Guess what? I have a nasty habit of not listening to common sense or reason. Why do you think I'm here in the first place?
Because you were lonely? Or was the reason darker, more perverse?
Because I believe in life and stupid chances. I don't give up. Not when I'm stood up, and not when I'm faced with an ugly bastard like you.
The creature ran at him. Jeremy rushed at it, sidestepping and running still until he got to the staircase. He looked back one more time and jumped, colliding with the ground. The world went dark for a while. Jeremy thought he was dead, or worse. But then he heard his phone ring. He held it up to his ear.
Hey, where are you at, man? We're by your car.
Jeremy laughed and laughed when he saw the flashing orange lights outside the parking garage through a slit, and he started to get up. No pain. The horror long gone behind him. He looked up and saw the staircase where it belonged. He walked towards the three men standing by his car. Everything right again. The lights were on. As Jeremy sat in the tow truck, he saw 2 text messages from Brian asking if he's been picked up. Jeremy responds while Devin talks.
Man, that really sucks. Stood up and your car broke down?
Jeremy put down the phone and watched the parking garage as they drove off. The disfigured creature watching him.
Well, at least it'll make for a good story for you and your grandkids one day.
You can say that again.
Stood Up was written and directed by Justin Morton. Produced by Sasha Bloor. Edited by Sasha Bloor, E.S. Henry, and Justin Morton. With music and sound effects by Epidemic Sounds. Theme by Ryan Smollett and Lucas Dorsey. Voiced by Sasha Bloor. Starring Chris Dattley, E.S. Henry, Gary Scales, and Evie H. And narrated by yours truly, Matt Raftis.